Welcome to Bay Focus. Thank you so much for tuning in today. You know, one of the things that I love to do on this show over the years is feature organizations that are helping veterans. And we are going to do that today. We've done a number of them over the years, and this is a new one for me, but they're not new. And I am so excited to introduce you to Operation Helping Hand today. And that's exactly what they do, helping veterans and their families. And you want to stay tuned because we're going to show you some things too, in some video and some pictures on what they're involved with. You want to stay tuned and learn more ways that you can come alongside and offer a helping hand to this organization. And we have with us today to help explain all this, Doug Fishman, who is the chairman of Operation Helping Hand. Welcome, Doug.
Thank you very much.
Great to have you with us today. And along with you is Jeff Hopkins, who is the James A. Haley VA Hospital Section Chief for Recreation Therapy and Creative Arts Therapy. I love that. We're going to find out about that. Welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much for having us.
Welcome.
Greatly
You know,
appreciate
and
it.
I just have to do this. And we're going to do this because now that I'd just like to throw something out there. David Mayo, if you're watching, you know Jeff. David is our station manager of Pensacola Mobile Station for CTN. And they have done competitive sports together over the years. And I absolutely love that. So, Jeff, it's an honor to have you with us today, too, particularly with your connection with David, known to us for so many years. But I want to focus on Operation Helping Hand here right now. And, Doug, for people that don't know what this is, give us the overview. And how long have you been helping veterans?
Operation Helping Hand has been around for over 20 years. That's actually founded in '94. And what we do is we support the James A. Haley Polytrauma Unit. And what does that mean? That those patients have brain injuries, they have spinal cord injuries, they may have amputee injuries. But in addition to supporting those patients, which are both veterans and active duty, we also support their families and their children. So we really work hand in hand with the James A. Haley to do whatever we can to make sure that those patients have what they need and that their rehabilitation is going to be successful.
So you come alongside and give us a little bit of how many veterans have you helped over the years? I mean, this has been really an amazing effort for 20 years. You've really done a lot.
Yes, we helped over 2,000 veterans and also active duty. It's
good to point that out. That's really important because they could be watching.
I mean, Jeff can address that, but I think there's probably an equal number of active duty as opposed to veterans. I'm not sure what the breakdown is, but over 2,000 patients at the Haley. And in addition, we've raised over $2 million to be able to support the programs that they have.
Okay, so when you say you come alongside, and we're going to talk to Jeff in just a moment, but when you come alongside and help the veterans coming into the Tampa VA, what does that look like? Do you have a team of volunteers? Do you have specialized people? What do you do?
We are an all-volunteer organization. 96.5% of all dollars that we raise actually go directly towards supporting those patients at the Haley. And to give you an idea as how this came about and where and why that support is needed is Bob Sila is the person who actually founded Operation Helping Hand. The way it was founded is that he was visiting a patient at the VA, and as he's walking in, he sees a woman in a car. And in this car is a bunch of McDonald's wrappers. So he goes and visits the patient, comes back out, and he goes, can I ask you why do you have all these McDonald's wrappers? And this woman goes, well, my husband is here under care. And she goes, I have nowhere else to go. I don't have any idea about this community. So I just stay here in my car and I eat McDonald's. And that was really the birth point of Operation Helping Hand, is the realization that we really need to be able to support that segment of the population.
And that translates into some of the guys, and we're going to talk a little bit more how this works with the VA hospital, but that translates into a lot of little things. I call them little things, but they're big things. That can mean providing food, providing assistance, providing just behind the scenes things.
Well, in addition, like every patient that comes in, we provide a welcome package, and it's not just a small care package. It involves a lot of gift cards, things like that, help in assistance in finding housing, even blankets, sheets, clothing, things like that. So the people at the hospital, when you go, it's very traumatic to go into rehabilitation, and it's hard for patients to be able to stay there as well. So we provide that for the families, and it's an important part of helping them be able to cope with what they're going through.
Yeah. Those are the things that are so important, and a personalized touch, and it would have to be so welcomed by the staff, of which Jeff is too, at the VA hospital. James A. Haley Hospital. I am going to say that right. James A. Haley Hospital. Well, we've done things with Bay Pines over the years too, so I absolutely love highlighting what you all are doing. We're going to go to a video now. We'll talk a little bit more in just a little bit with you, Doug, but we're going to go to video before we talk with Jeff. And I'm going to have you first of all, because one of the things that Operation Helping Hand does, they also do some things to provide fellowship and meals and dinners and things. So we're going to show this video. And Doug, you'll start out, and I think Jeff is probably going to kick in at a point. Tell us what we're seeing here. Okay, what is that?
That we give dinners pre-COVID that used to be on a monthly basis. Since COVID, the dynamic has changed at the hospital. But this is dinners that we put on, and we invite patients to come. We invite members of the military from MacDill. We bring in a lot of the foreign officials that are stationed at MacDill. But it's really an opportunity for the patients to be able to meet and to be able to just feel, be able to do something outside the hospital.
Right. And there's the hospital. There, great shot. Yep, I think we know what that is. Okay, there's some people there too that are connected with Operation Helping Hand, correct? All right, tell us, Jeff, what are we seeing?
So on the left there, you're looking at our adaptive sports program. You'll see a lot. That's Mark there. Mark Lawley. He's a local athlete, brain injured veteran. He was in that photo there. He was getting ready for the National Veterans Wheelchair Games in New Orleans. That's another woman wheelchair veteran. They're playing bocce, and there's Mark out there practicing his hand cycling skills. So,
wow.
He suffered a traumatic brain injury and has recovered and done really well. That's part of our recreation therapy staff there, and that's outdoor area of our PT and OT gym.
Wow, and you mentioned wheelchair games. You guys participate in all of that too, right?
Correct. Yeah, National Veterans Wheelchair Games. I got to put a plug in. National Veterans Golden Age Games are just any veteran over the age of 55. They're coming here in 2026. So love to reach back out and get anyone's support. It's gonna be it's 19 medal events, and we're gonna need about 2,000 volunteers for that event.
Wow.
There's gonna be 1,000.
Start planning
it's
it
gonna
now.
be about 1,000 veterans coming to Tampa, Florida in the summer of 2026.
We need to start making our list now.
Oh yeah. Start signing them up. Signing them up. All right, Jeff. While we're talking to you, tell us about how long you've been working, connected with Operation Helping Hand, and talk about these therapies, what you do.
Sure. So I've been working with the VA system for 8 years, particularly here in Tampa for the last 6 years. Automatically got introduced to Operation Helping Hand. My boss, Dr. Stephen Scott, he's a visionary of a lot of what goes on at the Tampa VA, particularly in our polytrauma center. And he said, this is an organization you need to spend time with. And so obviously I did, and just really got to know them. The former president, and then some of the people who've been working with the organization, and just really opened my eyes. I've seen a lot of great organizations do things for veterans and active duty, but they go beyond that, and it's just an amazing organization that I like to be a part of. I'm an Army veteran myself. I know some of the needs that we have, when we incur a traumatic event. Mine was a motorcycle accident. So, but it's just great working with Operation Helping Hand, and they're always there. I can always pick up the phone and, hey, we need something. Can you help us? So, but. I love that. And so you are actually overseeing some of the therapies. So I think music therapy is one of them, and a variety of different. Give us just the rundown of the therapies. Sure. So I oversee a staff of 33. So we have a lot of recreation therapists. We have 3 music therapists. We have a dance movement therapist, and we have an art therapist. We got some awesome assistants, and then we have a motor vehicle operator. We have our own fleet of vehicles. So basically, we're helping veterans rehabilitate, restore, rehabilitate, and transition back from what we call the clinical side to the community side. And so we've just, we work alongside physical therapy, occupational therapy, kinesiotherapy, nursing, speech. We're an integral part of the whole team to help rehabilitate these veterans and active duty. I know Doug keeps talking about that. We treat a lot of active duty special operators, Navy SEALs, Army Rangers, Special Forces, Delta Force. We take care of them, and that they make up a big part of what we do at the Tampa VA.
Well, let me ask you this too. There's a chapel, and I know our viewers would be interested in this.
Yes.
I'm going to show a picture of your chapel. How do you incorporate? The people are going to come, and they may need some spiritual guidance and faith, and so how is that part of what you do?
Well, the spiritual component's a big part of what we do. It's not just the physical, not the cognitive and the social, but also the spiritual. We do have a chapel there at the Tampa VA. It's a non-denominational chapel, but we have chaplains that go throughout all of our different programs, work alongside us and providing, maybe a Bible study, some scripture, communion, and just understanding that there's a lot of veterans like myself that have spiritual needs, especially after suffering a trauma. Trying to process. It's not just cognitive, physical, or social. It's really helping understand your new way of life.
It's a holistic approach you're taking.
Oh, absolutely holistic. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to take a break right now because I want to talk to both of you about a few things here as well. But we want to expound a little bit more on the importance of partnerships like this. So stay tuned. We're going to be right back with more Bay Focus. You're going to see on the screen how you can contact Operation Helping Hand, because this is one of the things we're doing with this show today. We want you to connect any way that you can help them as well, and help veterans by doing that. So we'll be right back with more Bay Focus. Stay tuned.
We want to hear from you. Is there an event happening in the Tampa Bay area or an organization helping the local community? If you have answers, let us know. Email us at darleneg@ctnonline.com. Find us online at ctnonline.com/bayfocus or follow us on Facebook at Bayfocus TV.
Well, if you just joined us, we are featuring Operation Helping Hand today on Bay Focus. And we've devoted the whole show to this because I have such a strong heart for organizations that are helping veterans. And I know you all do as well. Boy, we owe so much to our veterans, and you just can't thank them for their service, enough. But there are tangible ways that you can. And we're giving you those opportunities today to learn about it. And Doug, I want to ask you about partnerships. You working with Operation Helping Hand, obviously you partner with the VA here, but man, it takes a village, so to speak, right? Doesn't it? Yeah, tell us who you partner with.
We've got a number of partners, from some of the corporate community here in Tampa, CAE, Booz Allen Hamilton, Celestar, USAA have partnered with us in the past. We typically get a lot of support from Mike's Pies, which, everybody knows that, and Bluebell Ice Cream. I mean,
wow.
One of the things that we've done previously, and it hasn't been lately, we need to talk about this, is we come in and we distribute ice cream to the patients at the hospital.
I was just going to ask that. Is ice cream part of the deal?
Yeah, it's part of the deal. And sometimes, milkshakes and things like that. Just anything we can do to, to uplift spirit. In the past, we've also partnered with the Columbia Restaurant Group and from sports teams. we just had an event at the Rays. That was an incredible opportunity just to be able to, see what we're doing, to be able to meet the patients, to be able to interact with them. Because a lot of times, a lot of stuff that we do is anonymous. I mean, they'll come to us through social workers and say, we have family X that needs this. Can you help them? And then as a board, we make a decision and say, okay, generally we defer to the expertise that the VA provides. And, so those opportunities to be able to actually get in front of those patients and be able to interact, those are really the special times. That's when you realize the good of what you're doing.
Yeah, well, and it probably goes without saying, the VA hospital would be so grateful for partnerships with organizations like Operation Helping Hand.
Absolutely, absolutely. We're very fortunate in that partnership, and we have partnerships with others as well. It's just that we have a very close relationship, obviously, with Operation Helping Hand.
I think that's so important. One of the things that is so important too are the families of veterans. We can see the fact that veterans are coming, getting care, getting the help they need. But boy, what is the toll this takes on families? You guys both can respond to this, but how are you helping the families support system?
I mean, from my perspective, one thing that really struck me deeply was when we were at the Rays game, and there was a family there, and there was somebody who was active duty, I believe, but he was younger. He had a young wife, 2 young kids, and terrific family. But he had been through some very, very hard times, and the family as a whole had been. And just seeing how his wife responded to the ability to just have something normal, to have the kids have a good time, to be able to participate and do something that just took them outside of, their rehabilitation regimen. And that really struck me as something I'm like, wow, we're doing God's work. We're helping this family. And she couldn't have been more thankful. I mean, she was just, the impact that we had just said, everything we're doing is good.
Yeah. I don't know if you have a story you want to share too.
Well, that's a great story there. Obviously it impacts a lot of families and caregivers. We certainly can't do this without caregivers, not just veterans, but just across the world. I mean, caregivers are so important. But we have so many success stories through all of our programs. One in particular that comes to mind is a young man who was injured, Navy veteran, who was injured in a severe motorcycle accident and was in a coma. I don't know if they read him his last rites or not, but it was pretty severe. And through dance movement therapy, through music therapy, we helped rehabilitate him. And now he's back to dancing, severe brain injury, back to dancing, back to being a integral part in this community, participating in the National Veterans Creative Arts Festival, traveling around the country, doing what he wants to do. Again, going from that clinical to community, and that's our biggest focus. What can we do to help them successfully transition back to the community?
What is it? When you're working, and these are incredibly touching stories you guys are sharing. What does this usually translate in terms of time? I mean, how long does it like you just gave that example? How long did it take for him to get there? How long are you working with these?
So it varies. Fortunately, it's not like insurance companies where you incur spinal cord injury. You're going in for about 20 days if you're a paraplegic.
Right.
But basically, I don't want to say it's not time limited necessarily, but whatever we need to do to successfully rehabilitate them. And then we also see them as outpatients. So
I was going to say, what's the follow-up?
It doesn't always have to be inpatient status. They can be, like myself, a lot of veterans like to stay around the medical center area, around Tampa, where is the largest veteran community, I think, in the entire United States. So, but we service them as outpatients as well. So it doesn't just stop once they leave our doors. Once they go out in the community, we want it to, but often they have other secondary needs, secondary complications that brings them back in, or we just continue to see them as outpatients. We are there for the long haul. We need to be there for the long haul, absolutely. And not all veterans have a lot of needs. Some are able to just go and go back out in the community and live their life, and some don't end up coming back to the VA because they don't have those needs, but others do, and we're there to serve them. And then that's where we're able to rely on and reach out to Operation Helping Hand and get their support.
That's the part with Operation Helping Hand. You're also there for the support, whatever's needed for the durations needed. All right, there's also things you guys do. I mean, this doesn't come, at no cost. You do events, you do things for fundraisers. Tell us what you do.
We partner with a lot of community involvement. We partner with the U.S. Naval Academy Alumni Association, and we're doing an event for the games that are coming up. We have a golf tournament in the spring. We do art shows. Our dinners are opportunities for sponsors to come in, and we bring our sponsors in to meet the patients that we're serving. So those are a lot of the events that we do throughout the community.
Yeah, and that goes on like year round, kind of. You have various times,
correct,
a bunch of times of the year.
And a lot of the events we do too are purposeful in that we want to include the patients to the degree that we can.
Oh, that's
so
good.
as an
That's
example,
a good point.
we had the event at the Rays. That's an opportunity for sponsors to come in. We get sponsorship for it, so it helps us raise awareness, raise money, so we can be able to fulfill our mission. But it also gives an opportunity for us to serve the patients at the VA.
Okay, so if I'm wanting, this is one of the things we like to do with this show. We want to give our viewers the opportunity to connect, which we're showing your website and different times throughout the show. But what are some of the greatest needs? What are ways that they can help, that you could help Operation Helping Hand?
Well, I mean, obviously, we do need monetary assistance just to be able to provide this. I mean, a lot of the equipment, I don't know, you can address it. I mean, a recombinant bike is, how much is a recombinant bike?
Well, some of the bikes, I mean, you're looking at, for a recombinant bike, it could be $3,000 or it could be $8,000 to $12,000. It just really depends on the needs of the veteran, and
then developing the rehabilitation programs that are, a little bit, they're different. They're outside the scope of what would normally be addressed. I mean, you said music and art, and we've got virtual reality. And,
we got virtual reality, you're right.
I mean, you said
I love that. Yeah, we didn't mention that virtual reality.
We have a virtual reality program, Operation Helping Hand stuff, and I mean, they've spent well over $100,000 on our virtual reality e-gaming program. We have an amazing virtual e-gaming program that we provide to veterans. Jamie, one of our recreation therapists, he's doing gaming probably 4 or 5 nights a week out to veterans from all over the country, and actually some that are in other countries. So it's great, but we certainly couldn't have done it without our operation, and particularly Bob Silo. So he was the spearhead with that. And
I mean, and they're finding in this process is that there's true physiological benefits from this rehabilitation. I think you had mentioned that people that have an amputation have phantom pain. Right. And that the rehabilitation through the virtual reality can alleviate that and sometimes, lead to that dissipating. So, we're truly doing some breakthrough things here. Not we're the boots on the ground. And I'm going to give all the credit here to Jeff and his staff. It's not us. We're not doing anything. We do what they ask us to do.
Yeah, but
we can't do it without them.
Right, yeah, I was just going to say it's mutually.
We can, but the support is amazing. Again, the VA federal government provides us a lot of great opportunities and resources. If we need something instantaneously, within a few days, we can reach out, and most likely we'll get it from Operation Helping Hand. So,
and the thing too is that people don't realize we are a local organization. We support specifically the polytrauma at James A. Haley. But James A. Haley is over 75% of the available beds for polytrauma in the United States and the Department of Defense. So
they're coming from all over the country.
Correct. So although our focus is local, our reach is global.
Your reach is much, much larger than that. Wow, that's amazing. All right, do you need volunteers as well? What if people could contact you if they have time to volunteer?
Yes, we can always use volunteers. I mean, we've got something coming up for the holidays we can use volunteers for. When we do our golf tournaments, we can use volunteers. We can always use what I like to consider boots on the ground, using the military phrasing.
And do they have to be particularly qualified to do certain things, or you train her? You bring them in and just plug them in? How does that work? Are you looking for specialized?
We don't necessarily need specialization. We need people that are willing to work, people that are willing to be patient, people that are willing to be supportive.
Yeah, just come alongside and help the veterans and the families. And wow, we just have about a minute left to talk here. So, but what has this meant to you? You've come on about for 4 years. 4 years you've been involved. Recently become the chairman. And we don't have time to get into it, but you had a great story how you even got involved. But what does this mean to you to be involved personally?
Well, I think that God puts you in places where you can best serve.
Yeah.
And I think that's important. And, we don't have time for that story, maybe another time.
Yeah.
But I will tell you this, that I was in a particular place at a particular time, and it led to me to be able to work with Operation Helping Hand, and then has now led to me taking over. And it just means the world to me when, Jeff comes and tells us success stories, just lets us know that we're doing God's work, we're helping.
Yeah. Okay, and then we're also so grateful for the work being done at the VA, the partnership together. And I know you feel the same thing, that you all the steps of your life have been ordered to be where you are today.
Absolutely.
All right, we're going to take a break. Thank you both for coming on today and sharing about Operation Helping Hand and the partnership you guys have with the James A. Haley Hospital in Tampa. What an incredible place that is for the VA there in Tampa. We'll be right back. Welcome to Bay Focus. Thank you so much for tuning in. We have so many things to tell you about. There's some exciting things coming up.
The power of God is so much stronger. The power of Jesus is so much stronger.
Well, what an honor today it has been to put a spotlight on Operation Helping Hand and how much they are helping the VA hospital in Tampa and beyond, all the people that come through those doors. If you can support them in any way, we've given you a few options: financially, volunteer your time, come alongside them at some of their events, ways that you can get involved, any ways that you can help and show gratitude to people who have dedicated their lives to protect our country. I think would be an awesome thing. And I want to encourage you to connect with me here at Bay Focus. I want to hear from you. You're going to see on the screen ways that you can do that. I enjoy connecting with you. I'm so glad you tuned in this week. We will see you next week. May God richly, richly bless you.